You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Today on our Training Thursday, we're going to talk about how really everyone needs to be balancing their hard and soft forms of exercise. So this is something that I learned quite a long time ago when I first got into martial arts. I didn't really understand, I was always looking to go hard, meaning like I wanted to do sparring, I wanted to do the judo parts of it, I wanted to do the jiu-jitsu parts of it, I wanted to do ichiru, I wanted to do kempo, like all the combat type stuff, and I loved all of that. I was a competitive kid and really enjoyed martial arts, and I've been doing it for 20 years. But as I started to get a little older and I started to understand more of martial arts, I understood that there was actually two parts to martial arts. There was a hard form, which is what I just talked about, kind of like the combat form of martial arts. And then there was the softer forms. And the softer forms a lot of times is referred to as maybe they're the katas, or maybe they're the movements, like or even a Tai Chi or a Qigong, which I'm a big fan of Qigong. So when you look at those, well, what's the difference? And this is the beautiful thing about martial arts, is that it really goes back to I'll call it the American version, the yin and the yang of the traditional Chinese medicine symbol, right? So you have one side is basically black and the other side is white, but each side has a little bit of both in it. And that's the yin and the yang, the beautiful balance between the two. And when you understand traditional Chinese medicine, and really when you understand any other type of medicine except conventional medicine, like any other type of medicine, all you're talking about is the harmony, right? The harmony, the equilibrium, the balance within the body. And when you achieve that, you live a long life, you're disease-free, you maintain proper weight, and you have abundant energy. It is only when you lose that balance that you start to see symptoms, that you really start to see disease. That's why, I'm the founder, I'm the creator, the formulator of equilibrium nutrition. And there's a reason why it's called that. It goes back to what's called dynamic equilibrium in the body. And that's actually, believe it or not, a conventional medicine term, dynamic equilibrium. And that means that our body is always just I call it a seesaw in my practice. You're just going back and forth, side to side at all times. But what your body's always trying to do is create equilibrium. And that's why it has to bring your blood sugar down to somewhere around 75 to 95 milligrams per deciliter. And when you're looking at that, what you're saying is, okay, I get it. So my body can't have too much sugar because that causes all sorts of damage within the body. And if it has too low, I'm going to go into a diabetic coma. So you have to look at that delicate balance in the body. Same with acid and alkaline. People are always talking about, well, there's no such thing as, an alkaline diet or an acid diet. Well, there is. When you put really acid-based foods in your body, you're asking your body to then create equilibrium. You're asking it to draw minerals from the rest of your body to then realkalize the bloodstream, right? So if you put something in your body, which is a pH of like 3 or 4, that's very, very acidic, your body says, okay, well, we need to bring our blood back up to 7.356. And in order to do that, we need to take some calcium, some magnesium, some type of minerals from the rest of your tissues or bones to realkalize your bloodstream. This is almost rudimentary, but it's not looked at from a holistic standpoint in conventional medicine. And that's really too bad, because a lot of people are suffering from needless diseases, really, because disease is just a collection of symptoms, where if they only learned how to rebalance their body. So now I want to extrapolate that information, take that information, and then apply it to exercise. So what we're doing right now in our society, especially in the United States, is we are taking exercise and only looking at it from a hard standpoint, meaning like, again, I'm not picking on CrossFit. I actually like CrossFit. I don't have an issue with it. What I have an issue with is every day doing the workout of the day, doing it as fast as you can, as hard as you can. That's the hard form of exercise. That would be totally fine for the most part if we didn't work, if we didn't have any or the life stress, if we were getting plenty of sleep at night, and if we had an amazing diet that included lots of antioxidant-based fruits and vegetables, right? But very few of us do. We have full-time jobs. We might have families. We might have kids. We might be sleep deprived. I mean, I was just at a wedding. I'm sleep deprived today. I know that I can't get too crazy with my workout today. I could, today I feel great. Nothing wrong at all. But if I do that long enough, then I'm going to burn out my nervous system, right? So you have to just be careful. You have to start to learn how to balance the body. It's not like you can't work out. It's not like you can't even do CrossFit, but should every day be a personal best? And again, I'm not picking on CrossFit. I like CrossFit. I just want to see everyone stay safe. I want to see everyone be healthy. So I'm just going to call it like it is. The same goes for boot camps, right? The same goes for spin class that might be just too hard for you. And what I'm going to say is this. I enjoy working out. I enjoy hard exercise myself. So I want you to think about this. If you're only doing boot camps, if you're only doing CrossFits, if you're only doing hard personal best workouts, well, think about that. What are you doing then to balance those workouts? Are you doing foam rolling? Are you doing stretching to calm the sympathetic nervous system? Are you doing hatha yoga? Remember, if you're doing ashtanga or hot yoga or any of those are more stimulating to the nervous system. You need to balance that with hatha yoga, tai chi, qigong, gentle flow yoga. So let me try to even bring this to an even more dynamic level that you might see it. A lot of people doing everything hard and then they're doing super deep tissue massage, which is also stimulating all those nerves. When you really might want to be doing a relaxing massage. I know a lot of people think that that's a waste of time and money, but it's not. A relaxing massage more of a Swedish or a lymphatic or just longer kind of strokes in the body that calms the nervous system. We have to understand that in our go, go, go society, we are destroying our bodies. We are literally burning out our nervous systems. And since we can't see that, it is invisible to us. We don't understand the correlation, but we do understand the correlation when we're exhausted and we need caffeine to just fuel us for every day, right? We do understand it when we start to get inflammation and we're using turmeric now instead of looking at underlying root causes of why the inflammation is there. We're starting to get just overall more muscle atrophy, more injuries, more osteopenia, more osteoporosis, where our bones are breaking down. They're more brittle. We're starting to get autoimmune diseases from the stress in our gut, from leaky gut and increased intestinal permeability, right? All of these things happen because our nervous system, which also affects our immune system, it does weaken our immune system, starts to get broken down. We have to look at ourselves as one totality, one unit, one sum of everything that we do. And again, so I love working out hard too. I'm not against that. What I want you to do is I want you to think about how can I now balance my hard forms of exercise with softer forms of exercise, especially as you start to get into your 30s, 40s, 50s and up. You have to understand that you can't always break down without building back up. That is human physiology. That is literally the fountain of youth. If you break down more than and faster than you build back up, then you are slowly dying, or you're actually dying at a much more rapid pace. You are breaking down your body on a daily basis. And that has to do with everything. That has to do with the myelin sheaths on the nervous system. That has to do with brain atrophy. That has to do with from high cortisol. And it has to do with your muscles and your entire physiology. So what I'm trying to do is say, let's play this smart. If you're going to work out really hard, real hard workouts, don't do them back to back. Do them on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Why not? That makes a whole lot of sense. And then those in-between days can either be off days, they could be walking, they can be foam rolling, they can be recovery if the workouts are really that hard, or you might just do some light cardio, right? That doesn't have to be an interval day. You could do your intervals on your hard workout days. Maybe it is just a lighter day, or maybe it is a spin class that you don't go all out, or maybe even better, it's a yoga or tai chi or qigong day. Now, I know the psychology, believe me, because I'm one of those people. Everything in the Cabral concept is because at one point in my life, I did everything wrong, and now I'm literally in recovery, right? So I'm just recovering a burnt out body that I'm understanding, and I'm applying it on a smaller level to all of those people who didn't necessarily shut down their immune system as well. So what I'm trying to do is save you from a lot of what I might have had to go through. And what I'm talking about, especially those ectomorphs or even peta body types as well. The endomorphs, the large body type, really large calves, big calves, a rounder head, smaller neck, more robust chest. Those people can actually do a little bit harder exercise. Their body is buffered by more of the accumulation, more of the anabolic. It's harder for them to become more catabolic, where for an ectomorph or a vata body type, very easy to become catabolic, right? They're already prone to breaking down. So for most people though, 5 days a week of exercising is great, like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. It's a great schedule. I talk about that again on my website with the welcome package. You get kind of like my ideal workout week, and that will give people enough of what they need. Now, remember, if you're training for a sport or something like that, it's a little different, but I still want you to balance it. Meaning, like if you need to train hard 4 days a week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off for recovery or whatever, Thursday, Friday, just make sure that you're doing enough massage, that you're doing enough foam rolling, that you're doing enough stretching, all the things that we, go personalities, I'm included in that, don't like to do. So we have to purposely slow ourselves down, because if we don't, we're enjoying it now, but we're going to one day burn out. And that burnout could be an injury. It could just be overuse injury based. It could just be high levels of inflammation. Or we start to see our performance go backwards because literally we're just shot. Our bodies are burnt out. They're working off fumes. Our cortisol could only run high for so long. And now it's not running as high. We need to just push more caffeine, more of all that stuff, and we only make ourselves worse. So hopefully this just gave you a little bit of insight. It wasn't meant to kind of stop you from doing what you love, right? It's not meant to do that. You can do anything you want. You could do Tough Mudders. You can do Spartan races. You can do marathons if you really want to, although I don't recommend it. You could do CrossFit. You can do boot camps. You can do spin. You can do anything you want, as long as you keep your body balanced, right? So really good nutrition after those hard workouts. Make sure you're getting at least 8 hours of sleep. Make sure that you're doing the massage, the foam rolling, the stretching, and that you're working on your breathing, that you're working on calming down that sympathetic nervous system afterwards. And I'm telling you, if you do that, if you take your favorite hard exercises, your favorite hard workouts, and you balance that with a hatha yoga, a qigong, or just some simple breathing and stretching and a little bit of light massage, you're going to keep your body much more balanced. Hopefully that helped. Hopefully gave you a little bit of insight kind of in where I've had to go with my own training. And I'm telling you, the results can be just as great, but the benefits in terms of mood and energy, they're just much, much greater. Thank you everyone for tuning into another Cabral Concept. And as always, feel free to please share the show with anyone you believe it could help. Take care.
Before you go, I wanted to share a personal story with you. The real reason I began to get well finally is because I figured out what was wrong with me. And that might seem pretty obvious, but I went from doctor to doctor for over 2 years before discovering at-home functional medicine lab testing. These are the labs that enabled me to finally figure out what was wrong with my hormones, blood sugar, electrolytes, and gut health. And once I knew what was wrong, I could then follow a proven plan in order to rebalance my body from the inside out. This is why I believe so strongly in functional medicine lab testing and why I've made it my mission to share these labs with the world. Now at equa.life, you can order an at-home lab test or lab bundle for you and your family and be able to complete it within the week. Plus, the EquaLife difference is that you're not left to try to read and figure out these labs on your own. We explain what your lab numbers mean, what they mean in the much bigger picture, and then how to go about rebalancing your body in order to heal. To see our full selection of lab tests or to set up a free lab selection call to find out what labs may be best for you, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. And do remember, we ship these all over the world. To find out more and to set up your free lab selection call, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. That's EQUI.LIFE/labs.